I always describe the using piece as like, in an action movie when the car is like going over the bridge and in slow motion you see the car like headed towards the water. That is the best example I can think of like the car crashing but in slow motion. That's like what the getting high feels like. Or another example I use, at the end of Beauty and the Beast, when the Beast is transforming into the human, and you see him on the floor, and like the sparks are flying in the air, and like, like his body is being risen, to transform. But in reality, it's just like a slow motion falling asleep and tuning out from everything that's going on. I meet up with that friend. So I have no money, no drugs, no cigarettes, and no car. So he, didn't really want anything to do with me. So I walked it was in Maverick Square in East Boston, and I walk straight to the docks that face Boston. I don't know how to swim, and so my intention was to jump off the docks and drown myself. I was standing there for a really long time. I had my shoes off and I had my purse at the edge of the dock. And this Spanish-speaking woman and her toddler come down the dock, and the little boy is throwing rocks in the water. And I thought to myself, please God, make them go away. I will not kill myself in front of this little boy. And the woman comes to me, and at one point she pointed to the sky and she said, Dios te ama, God loves you. And I turned around, and in English, she said, you go home now? I said, no. I went to back to Revere, to meet up with someone else that I had also been using with, who I loved. So I used that guy's phone to call my mom, and she's like, Pesha? And I was like, I need help. Those were the first words out of my mouth. I had an appointment later that day with a substance abuse counselor, and that whole ride, I was like, I hate myself, and you should hate me, I want to die, I'm the worst daughter, and they're like, why? And by the time we parked, I rolled up my sleeves, and I showed them my track marks, and the look on my mother's face was, at that point, I thought fear, sadness, and disgust. Later on in my recovery and family therapy, she told me it was actually relief that she finally knew what was going on with me. My first night in detox, first time, didn't know anything about anything. And one of the counselors pulled me aside and he said, you are too pretty for this and you're too smart for this, and I don't ever want to see you here ever again. And at that point, I was like, wow, I'm worthy of being looked at, spoken to, told something as amazing as that. It was life-changing for me, and it's why I wanted to work in this field. And I try to impart that same message to a lot of my patients. And I'll never really know if they hear that message or not, but I think when it comes to denial, you can educate someone until you're blue in the face, or tell them how beautiful and smart they are, and they'll only hear those messages when they're ready. I think people a lot of the time will be like, is there anything that I can do? Sort of as like a please say no type question. Mm-hmm. But I say, what can I do for you? Because I am here for you. And if what the thing is that I can help, I'm here. And if there's nothing that I can do, I'm still here. I think for me, early in life, if someone had said that to me, who knows? We're not alone, and I think so many of us need to be reminded of that on a daily basis.